Hello, hello, hello. You hear me, huh? God dang it. I'm trying to pop my chat out and they keep messing up. Oh, you stupid, stupid computer. Hey, John. Miss Cindy Logan. Noble Girl Gamer, what's going on? Hi, Lenny. Clay Scott. Hoping I get to talk to you today. You can talk to me any day. Oh, my goodness. It won't let me pop the chat. I moved it over to the little box and now I'm like trying to size it and it won't let me do it. What the heck? It's being, oh, this stupid thing. I think it's my mouse. Thank you, Noble. Mountain Man. Dude, flooding? You're still all those storms, huh? Dang, that sucks. Hey, be safe, man. Be safe. How you doing, Kane Beeben? Well, it's been a while, and since I got some coin from my favorite spot, my liquor store at the corner, the Ma and Pa one, and I was in it this morning, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna see how if they got any pennies, and they had a bunch, so I grabbed them. I've gotten, ooh, I got some free long black hair with it too. Nice. That'll get me in trouble. Um, yeah. So what did I get? One, two, three, four. $4.50. What's up, Weasel? Well, we'll get through as many as we can up to up to PV. Once Ken PV gets on, and then these are customer wrap. So let me put my gloves on. I wear gloves on pennies. I wear gloves most of the time, but pennies in particular, because they're filthy. You never know. You get some heebie-jeebies. I'm going to want to say thank you so much for the 116th Real. It's more beautiful in person than through the camera. You're very welcome, Pam. You're very welcome. I'm glad it made it there safe and you got it. That's a very nice coin. Awesome. Very awesome. Yeah, the camera doesn't do things justice. Maybe if I had a better setup, but definitely. And then that's in a nice new airtight, so there's no scratches. So you can see it and protect it because it's old, baby, and copper. That's the part that amazes me, how things stick around that long. Hey, Jesse Greenhorn. Sorry, Greenhorn, Greenhagen. We have a Greenhorn that's a Jesse. How are you, man? Yeah, you know what? I typically do my live feed or streams like late night. So on the weekend, I probably could have got on earlier too because I kept thinking I couldn't remember who's on today, and then watching other people's streams. And I usually use the weekend to catch up on everyone else's stuff. Um, but yeah, I just thought, you know what? I get some time in between, so I think I'll do these pennies. So I'm not really, set up to show everything like as perfect as we'd want to, but this is the way I do them. Really, I look at every coin. I use my loupe. I can see with the loupe better than I can with the microscope. Believe it or not, it just it's just different. The microscope seems to be too powerful. ACS has always called me greenhorn, probably because of the person I'm talking about. That's funny. I wanted to talk to you about getting some wheats. Okay, you got it, Clay. No problem. I've been selling wheats lately too. So get them while they're hot. Hey, Hoosier, long time no see. CJ, what's going on? I thought you were going to get some rest. I hope you got a beer. Should have got a beer. Treat yourself. So 82, Denver. Right off the back, we're going to weigh that bad boy. 3.1, and I'm buying all the beer for everybody. Oh, what I got? It's on ounce. It's not going to work. I finally got some shot, so I was weighing out the ounces out of the silver shot so I can start pouring bars, man. So I picked some up, getting close. Gotta keep my mind fresh. That's a good idea. Oh, pot roast. Oh, wait a minute. I just throw the wrong one on there. Does that weigh 3.1? Oh, you know why it's 3.1? Because it's large date. So large date, no bueno. We want 82 small date, Denver. Man, I just gave myself a little shock. Oh, man. It ain't right on. That's cool. Yeah, large date. CJ's like, it's a large date. You're right. Do you always weigh every 82? No, well, you can weigh every 82, but the only one that's not accounted for, or wasn't accounted for, it had every variety because 82 is transitional year. So that means that they went away with the planchards that were 3.1 grams. They were 90% copper, and they adopted what we have now, which is a 2.5 gram, and it's a zinc coated with copper. So you had two different styles of date also. So what that did was it made for all with the possibilities. Let me show you. I'll show you something really quick that'll make it quicker. So like these are pretty popular. This shows you like all the different. They went and made all these all kinds of different styles of this. But you got copper, which means 3.1 plancher, 82. You had the Philly in the large date. You have 82 Philly in the small date in copper. You have 82D in large in copper. Then you have zinc ones that are 82 Philly small date, 82 Philly large date zinc. Then the same thing with Denver's. You have 82 Denver large, 82 Denver small, also in zinc. But there wasn't an 82D small date up until it was found last year. So for all those years since 82, and then finally one guy found one, and then shortly after there was a second found. So there's two that I know of, and they both went to auction, and they were in pretty bad shape. They weren't the best specimen, and they still fetched in the tens of thousands of dollars. I don't recall the exact amount, but it's all easy to find if you Google 82D small date copper, and it'll give you the whole story. So yes, I do weigh. Yeah, there's been two, and they both went to auction at the same auction. The first one, he stayed anonymous, and I think he went through Ken Potter. Was it Ken Potter? He contacted, and then Ken Potter brought the coin to the out into the mainstream, and which was smart. He went and got a professional, and that probably made it so that it went to a good auction, and that's it. The more eyes it came across, people that are in the market for those things, and that's the way you get those things sold. Oh, I just threw that in the wrong one. I do say the copper. That penny silver bars always demand a premium over spot. Oh yeah, of course. Reason being, at first, these are going to be hand poured. These are hand poured bars, and I'm serial numbering them. So let's just, for argument's sake, assume that I get popular, then I die. These bars will be worth something. The ones that are closer to 001 will be worth more than the 100th one or the 2000th one, etc. So yeah, the early on ones, I'm nothing crazy. I've been messing with it. I've been doing it for a while. It's pretty fun. And they're art bars, basically. Okay, you got it. I got a few of those left. No problem. You got it, Jeff. I'll put a note down. I'm a note taker. Post-its. Gotta have post-its or I start freaking out. But yeah, so that's the 82. Now there's more than one year that's a transitional year. Then you have the transition in 59 where we went away from the wheat back to the new design, which was the Memorial. What's up, Quicksilver? So in that year, you have a chance of catching, which is a really, really expensive penny. You entered some crisp star notes. Let's see, crisp star notes. Only if they look crisp like that one, like that silver certificate star note. But if you have some lower grade ones, oh, those are funny. Is that a funny back? Well, I'll be a funny back. Oh, it's gorgeous. Straight off the always. Email me. Give me how many you got, what years, and what book. The book is the letters by the serial numbers. Nice. Yeah, nice. I have, because I got current market pricing. I got all the price guides and whatnot. Yeah, Quicksilver, everything's for sale. Coin Junkie, what's going on, man? If you switch them, they could be in descending order. Yep, just matters you counting from the top. You looking at them from the top or from the bottom? But anyhow, when the year switched for the wheat to the Memorial, there has been found when it was supposed to be Memorial and it stayed wheat back. The last wheat back was a 58. So you find a 59 with a wheat back, and it's an easy one to remember. Or like make notes, man. I keep adding my notes to my cheat sheets, and then I'm constantly redoing them. But I mean, that's it's what you want to look for at first, because you can only do so much. So like pick a few things that are within the coin that you have access to, error wise, if that's what you're into, and variety, and then keep those notes. Use those, and then when you get familiar with them, where you don't need the papers no more, because it'll happen fast. It's just the more effort you put into it. Then you put out another set, a few things at a time, until it's just like studying for class, and then you'll start to retain it the more you do it. Hey, Golden Pay Dirt, what's going on, man? Mr. Frank B. Where we still don't know yet, do we? If you ask me, there's far too much transitioning going on these days. Yeah, I think so. Frank. That's funny. Sweet. Yeah, so it's transition. You got, the Washington quarters, same thing. You got transitional year when they changed from silver to not silver. What's up, Fire Cajun? Did I win? I got to check the official memorandum. I'll let you know in the email. And so some people keep their copper Blanchard, 82 and down. I do, just because, I don't know. Somebody told me once that there was more copper worth than the penny's worth, and that's all he had to tell me. Oh, you're welcome, Golden. You're doing great, dude. You got big numbers, man. That's a lot of subscribers, and your giveaway, dude. You're doing an awesome giveaway. You guys, if you're not subscribed to Golden Pay Dirt, he's coming up on 800 or 900 subs, and he's in the giveaway. He's doing a first place, second place, third place, and all of them are awesome giveaways, man. So click on them, subscribe, and go watch the video he put up today, and you'll see all the all the wonderful stuff he's giving away. And happy birthday, Frank. Mr. Coin Dragon in disguise under here, Frank B. That's right. We were early the other night. So happy birthday, bro. Hey, Eagle Eye, what's going on? What happened? So me, I do separate them. I do keep the copper. To do what with? I don't know. Some people contemplate that the law will change because you can't right now by law melt your pennies down for the copper. It's like defacing government property. I don't know how many people how enforced that is, but it's a law nonetheless. And I have a box where I just I have a bank box that I throw in my my take back to the bank. Mr. Reiser, how are you, sir? Yep. Frank's birthday. I think he's 37. Frank, 38, something like that. Nothing fancy. So even conditions everything, people. Just know that there's rare exceptions and some errors and varieties that they're so scarce that you could have a lower conditioned coin and still command a humongous premium, value. So, but it's really these are like really one-off coins. So what I do is there's a handful kind of there in the middle in this gray area that even in a little bit lower grade than say mint state, about uncirculated, XF, you still can make a few bucks on a penny. So that would be like your AMs, your close AMs and your wide AMs. Those are easy ones to remember. They're probably the easiest ones to be able to tell if you have it, just with a loop. And even naked eye for some people, but not my eyesight anymore. Usually, there was a day, but it's not today. And so when I get 2000s, 99s, 98s, 92s, I check them. I put them under my loop, and I look. I also do that with 95s for the double die on the verse, because that's the easy one. I've done it enough that I remember those. And this one is just a mint state looking, wow, 68S. And it's red, big time, and good looking too. Wow, that's not typical. Even on the back, wow, some die scratches and stuff, but that doesn't affect anything because it's from the mint. It's got a little bit of caca at the top, but it looks like just like some stuff that would dust off. That's a good looking 68. Look at that. Alvaro pennies from my liquor store. I like it. And the S, San Francisco mint mark. It's not Denver or a plane. Hey, Mike Wolf, North Jersey Detector, how are you? Am I missing anybody else? If I miss you, I'll see you in a sec. I'll see you in a little bit. It's hard to keep up with chat and look at the coin. Mr. Joe Durbin, what says you, sir? How are you? We'll do have that backwards. What'd you say, Hoover? Let's see. Is everything after 82 supposed to be a wham? No. The wham. That's kind of like just like slang, but it's in the AMs. What happened was on a business strike coinage that's made just to be used out in public. What they did was they accidentally used a proof reverse. So the reverse that's on the back of the business coinage, the 98, 99, and 2000, and the 92, but vice versa, because the design was changed for the proof reverse. So 92, you're looking for the AM to be close and touching, and then you're in the money. On the 98, 99, 2000, you are looking for a wide AM because they should be touching to be the business strike. Now, a few of those years, it's also possible to catch it also in the proof coins themselves. They'll have a business strike reverse. So those I don't remember quite as easy as I do the business strike, because of course I go through business strike way more than I do have abundance of proofs to go through. I wish I did. And then there's all kinds of good stuff. It's 88 and 89 in your pennies. It's possible, and it's the same thing. It's designer's initials, but it also, that's the exact same thing. You'll have wide AM and not wide AM. Because the 88, it's possible to catch the 88 with the 89 back, or an 89 with an 88 back. And those are some high dollar errors. But like I said, condition is everything. The 92 is a lot more pricier than the rest, so more forgiving in the grade. Like it's lower grade, you still stand to make a nice amount of money. Hey, Daryl, what's going on? Mr. Daryl, hey, can I show what you sent me? Because I got it, and I just opened it up yesterday, and it's wonderful. Hey, DMV, what's going on, man? How are you? Yeah, the RDV 066, that's just it's like it's the name for the type of, for the back, for the reverse. Hey, let me show you guys. Off note, Mr. Daryl and me we're John Wayne fans, and he sent me the most coolest John Wayne thing that I've ever had in my life. So I have to show it off. So I got this in a pack the other day, in a package, I should say. Right, John Wayne. It says pocket watch with collectible tin, and I'm like, that is pretty cool. And the tin, definitely cool. And then when you keep going, it's like cool, still cool. It's a John Wayne pocket watch, man. As if that wasn't enough, when you get it out, see if you guys are you able to hear it? You push the button on the side, and it's John Wayne and he's talking. Let me see. What is he? Thank you, America, for strength, courage, and for our freedom. That's what it says. That is too cool, man. So thank you, Daryl. That is bitching. Thank you, man. Really, that's just too much, man. And time, it's ticking. Pretty sweet. RDV, reverse. Hey, Stephen Elliott. Reverse dive variety. Yeah, I love it, dude. Thank you very much, man. And so, like, value-wise, because they've done all the homework, there's nothing left to find out. They've tracked down every set of dies for the 98, 99, and 2000. One of them is known. It was like 9 sets of dies only made them, so that's the least lower amount. It's worth the most out of them. I think it was 36 or 39 sets of dies made the 2000. So out of 3 years, the 2000 is the easiest to find because there's more specimens out there. But still, $20. You get it in a low mint state or just uncirculated, and it's a $20 penny. It's like, who can't beat that, man? With a stick. Oh, it was starting to look good. And a lot of carbon spots. And then I'd say the next thing, because it puts you right in those years, is that everybody should be checking their 83s, because it's almost on every transition year it happens. There's planchards laying around, there's extras, and the Mint employees do it themselves. I think it's just me. Don't hold, that's my opinion. So there's 83s that get found that they're on the old planchard. They should be on the 2.5 planchards, the new ones, but they're on the old planchard. So you catch an 83 that weighs 3.1, and those are some pricey pennies. Besides just the double dies that are on 83, 83s is a wonderful penny. There's a lot of high dollar error variety. So make sure you guys learn the big DDO that's on the reverse. It's a good high dollar DDO, or DDR, I should say. I'm sorry, but just the I weigh every 83 I get. I don't mess around. I just weigh them. I'm just in the habit of doing it. 2.5. Stupid penny. Got 2,000. And it's closed AM. No dice. No dice. And then there's a bunch that if you're just starting off, it's too much really. You can get overwhelmed. I used to do it, trying to do too much, trying to cover too much. What it did was it slowed me down. It wasn't systematic enough. I was a builder for years. So, you really had to, everything was planning, like time is money. So doing it on a stream is one thing. The way I do it when I'm not watching, I get a lot more ground covered. But I do keep the copper, and everything gets thrown where it's ready to go when I'm done with it. The keepers, I usually have a pile of keepers that I don't look at 100% and make a decision. I just go, ooh, that's something that needs to be looked at further. And so the 2 or 3 out of each roll, because that's about normal, 2 or 3, minus a few keepers that are copper that right off the bat, they just tell you that you're saving them for the copper, because they're you can see with the naked eye that they're trash. And then after about 6-7 rolls, I'll have a nice little pile. If time permits, I'll whatever it takes, whether they warrant the microscope or just taking the time to really look them over, or to research. Like, I see something in it that I know is a type of variety, and then I need to go find out if it's known. That's the research part. That's the part that's fun sometimes, and it could be a pain in the butt. Copper pennies are 3.1, zinc are 2.5. I've had 82 pennies weigh 2.7. What does that mean? Okay, the plus or minus. There's the Mint has plus or minuses on, if it's just a little outside weight or over or under, that's acceptable, right? Like, it doesn't mean anything fancy. Like, it could be a foreign planchard. That means that your penny could be on a planchard that was made for another country, because we've made a lot of other countries' coinage, and it happens, and they're out there in every denomination. So 2.7, I have a lot of 2.7s. It could be a lot of other things too. They could be broad struck. Being broad struck will widen them, and it will make them weigh more. But being broad struck is kind of you would know it when you saw it. There's types of errors, or strike. Like striking, it could be an error in the planchard. The planchards come from a flat stock that is rolled, and it's supposed to be to a precise, girth, so that when they punch out the slugs, the planchards to make the coin out of, sometimes that stock is rolled thin, too thin, outside of its specs. Sometimes it's rolled fat. So when you take pennies or any coins, and they're supposed to be uniform, and you look at them from the side, if you had one that was half the size of the rest of them, something's up. It could be that it was rolled thin, or it could be that you have, like, I have one that where it split in half, but it was still stamped. It still made it to the dies, and that half the penny got stamped. But you could tell what side was the inside, because it looks like It almost looks like a Woody. The way the inside looks. I've seen one. It looked like the Woodies I call corduroy. That's exactly how those half ones look. Kind of cool. I just saw that. I just learned that not too long ago. So yeah, it takes a lot of research. You got to research the possibilities, and then the more you find out about them, start cross-referencing it with the one you have. See if it fits all the diagnostics for the rolled thin or etc. Maybe the copper layer is a bit thicker. Just a guess. Yeah, so if it's thicker, it could be that it was, it's just the rolled stock. Most pennies, I don't know if I should say most, but I mean, I've looked at enough of them that usually as you spin it, you'll see a fat side and then it'll taper down to a little thinner, which is like, what would you call that? Like cattywampus, right? But in like on the plane this way, like horizontally or perpendicular. So there's a lot of possibilities. It's not always just you get one anomaly and you're conscious of it, because just catching stuff like that is pretty hard. Because do you weigh every coin? I don't weigh every coin. Is there a chance I passed up one that was, yeah, of course. But what do? You pick. That's why I said you could get really overwhelmed if you try to attempt it all. Because pennies that big, people, 10 lifetimes you wouldn't master all of it. Let alone if you like nickel dime too. I like it all. So it's like, God, it's tough. It is tough. And so that's why I say pick the ones you want to find. Like I really like the whams and went heavy on whams. I got one. I purchased one. Like I got my fill of wham for a while, or the AMs. And so then I was off to, let's say, repunchment marks, which you're only getting. They stop at a certain year where it wasn't done by hand anymore. So then it's putting you into just that. Does that mean you save everything after that year to come back to, or see? It's just you got to make a game plan. If you're doing it in a big way, you got to store these pennies. You got to store them properly. I have boxes full of pennies that need to go back to for their second go over, just because I find myself a lot of the time, the temptation of the new roll it far outweighs the fact that I've already done half the work, and I have boxes full of pennies that I'm halfway to, whether or not they're worth more money, premium. Like it's not enough to trump the initial whatever that magic is. Like it seems like coin roll hunting is it's addictive. I think everybody that does it understands what I'm saying. It's like, man, having a box of new ones, having a bunch of bank wrapped, it's like, man, they're just always calling my name. Open me. So it's tough. And like now, I got some customer wrapped, and opposed to I got bank rolls over here, and I will always open these first. It's just my experience. I have a 2000 Lamb. I found myself was so right now. The accomplishment, the trying and succeeding. It's like that right there by itself is wonderful, Cindy. Let alone almost guaranteeing that you never get out of this hobby. at least the love for pennies, man. Yeah, it's dangerous. It's like pennies. I'm starting at the bottom. I thought that was responsible. How did pennies end up like these things aren't cheap? It costs money. Like my addiction to like being a collector of pennies is more than my pockets are deep. And you're telling me you can do this with nickel, dime, quarter dollar? What? And they make coins out of gold? Get out of here. I don't believe that. That's bull. That's an old wives' tale. What weighs more, a pound of rocks or a pound of feathers? They're both a pound. I don't buy lotto. I don't either. I buy coin rolls. All you can lose is time. Yeah, it's money that you get your money. The 3 cents I take out of every roll, it's an acceptable cost. The one wham that Cindy found, gets her almost a whole bank box when she sells it. I mean, it's a really wonderful thing. Um, you guys have all heard the story. I caught 31S that was a high end specimen. Sold it for not as much money because they didn't know as much then. But what I did sell for, I could not believe it. I was hooked. That's it. I was hooked. I mean, people are selling pennies for $50, $100. Shit, there's pennies that go for thousands of dollars. There's $1 million pennies. So yeah, and then that's just penny. Hey, let me ahead send you an email. You got it. You got it, CJ. I'll jump into it. My system doesn't permit me to open and do a lot of stuff, or I have a chance losing my getting kicked off. But yeah, um, it really is a great hobby. It's a good hobby to get your kids in. Anybody, but particularly younger. One of the things I noticed, I don't know if everybody else has, but it seems like the ones that were into this at a younger age as a hobby grew up to be adults that were better with their money. Um, you know, like responsible at an early age because it was something that took me a long time to get to. And I was I came to this coin collecting later in life, so it's like yeah, I wish I would have known about it a little sooner so I could have started my kids younger because they're rotten teenagers right now. So they just don't want to get into it because dad suggests it. It's not cool. But if I would have had them into it sooner, because I've met the young collectors and a bunch of kids too. I'll tell you that much. But I think all kids are smarter than me or my generation. They're like sponges, man. I know my kids are smarter than me and their mom. It's what they do with it, though. That's what it is. It takes 16 ounces of rocks with feathers to make a pound. It takes only 12 ounces of gold or silver to make a pound. That's the it's denser. It's denser. It's like man, when you feel real gold, like higher purity stuff, it doesn't. It won't make sense right away. Your mind will like not understand it just from all the stuff you've ever held in your life. It's not the same. It really is crazy. It's so dense that little amounts feel like they weigh, 10 times their size. That's why all the people that move gold and handle gold have to wear a steel toe because the bars, just from a 2 foot drop, and it'll shatter your foot. So yeah, gold is crazy. Now I wouldn't claim ever to have held anything close to even 12 ounces, let alone enough to break my foot. I've had a 1/10 ounce once. That was the only gold. She calls him Mimi's money. That's cute. Yeah, I think so too, Lenny. Yeah, I know that, Lincoln. I'm not a big uh, connoisseur or anything, but I knew that. I just don't deal in gold, so I don't try to push it. Yeah, I don't. It's not my. And don't get me wrong. Not that I don't have aspirations, but I really. Well, I guess I don't, to be honest, because it's just outside of my. It's outside of me. It's too expensive. Locking that much money up into something, I can make the same return just doing a little more work, which I'm more accustomed to, anyways. Well, because you have different ounce, so yeah. But metals, precious metals, are are treated different. Hmm. Had wet my whistle. Whistle wetted. Did you get your package yet, Joe? Mr. Durbin? Some people are catching them already. I wonder if you caught yours. All right, so what else with these pennies is occasionally I find real BU pennies. I'm looking this one over. This is a 2005D, and it looks brilliant and circulated. Not looking at it because I didn't put loop to it. Monday, right on, right on. It's got a little carbon spot at the bottom. But when I do find them, I have rolls every year from 1900 all the way up to current. That's where they go. They get put in the tubes. As the tubes fill up, then they get taped off, airtight, and they get put away for sale for as B-roll. And it starts to catch up to into the 2000s. And I have a lot of, like, of course, 16, 15. I started in 15 keeping cases, bank cases, because that's kind of a dealer thing. So little by little. But yeah, so that one we'll keep. That's a dog, but it's copper. Dog, copper, dog, copper. All right. So I got 5 coppers that are thrown in my copper. Actually 6. And right here, I got 2 keepers, man. That 64, that's nicer looking than this 2005. You know what? That carbon spot, this really does it for me. So we're gonna call it one. One roll, 1 keeper. And to be honest, sometimes you don't keep any. But you know what? Your eye will want you to see what you want to see. You have to really be critical of what you're keeping, because before you know it, you'll be keeping stuff. And I did it early on. You'll be keeping too much, and you'll be keeping things that they have no premium. There's no value. If it's a variety wise or error wise, make sure, do your homework, do the research, because there's nothing worse than money that's not, like doing this and having too much shelved. I'm in this as capacity as I buy and I sell. It's a little different than just the collector, but I'm a collector too, somewhat. Yeah, I think everybody is at one point. Is customer wrap rolls better than bank wrap? Getting customer wrap from the bank, you stand the chance to get a roll that was already went through, and you're catching it on the end of that. But there's also the other factor, and that's what I get almost 99% of the time, because none of them are being searched by coin collectors, just because I know everybody in the neighborhood, ask around, is that you're getting coins that people, it's their change. Me getting them from the local neighborhood store that everybody frequents, I'm getting, this is out of everybody's house in the square mile. I'm getting some of everybody's pocket change in the whole neighborhood. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of chance for, wherever they got their change, where they shopped that day. I mean, like, it puts me out there where it's doing all that work and that travel for you. I've gotten the most wonderful stuff out of these, and bank rolls. I've gotten some good stuff, but honestly, this stuff has served me better than the bank rolls from the bank boxes. But that's just my experience. People in different parts of the country find different stuff. Like, some people don't know that far that there's some of these errors and varieties. They find them. They know that they came from a certain region, and they didn't get any farther because of as they're found. So there's stuff that I know not to waste time looking for, because it's not in the West Coast. There's no chance of it getting to the West Coast, because they found X amount of them in that region. And Joe Bunn has done it for me on the 98 close AM, because he's found 6 or 7 of them already, all from the same bank. Like, God, that's too many. It's like that sucker has to be there's only so many of them, and to be released, like Denver stuff stays to one part of the country, Philly stuff, etc. Um, for me to go crazy looking just for that one, because he's I think he's back east, or be considered back east. It's probably Philly stuff. It's like I'm not gonna bother. I went through pocket change over the years, mostly pennies, over $80, and we had a bunch of wheats and Indian head pennies. See, that's wonderful. I've never gotten an Indian head out of a roll, not one. That is so cool. If it's a good 2 days in a row, cheaper for me. I did a $50 bag from a bank a while back. I got a 2,000, or I got 2,000, 200. I'm sorry, 212 wheats. It was great. That's sweet, dude. What's up? How are you, Hoagie? What's going on, man? So yeah, so there is no right and wrong answer. I don't think, because I've heard people like have wonderful stories about the stuff just from the bank. Um, everybody has a different experience. I think as long as you're just going through roll, and that's it. It's the harder effort you put into it, the more you get out of it. Just I've heard probably from it across the board. Um, you got to be able to weather the tough times of I've been through 3 boxes from the bank and not got nothing to speak of. You can't let it discourage you, because it only takes one coin to fix all that, literally, or one good roll or one good box, or um, it really does. So it's like you gotta don't let it discourage you. Just keep pushing. If you're getting discouraged, my advice would be you need to step back, take a breath, find something else to do. There's plenty to do with collecting, and get away from the coin rolling for a little bit. Maybe start going through stuff you've kept with the fine tooth comb, looking for, because I do it all the time. I revisit the coin a lot, and I find varieties all the time that I missed. Whether I had the eye for it then, or if it was something new I learned since, because a lot of that's going to happen. So, so there's plenty to keep your attention and your time that's not wasted time. Um, so yeah, so if you ever start you're doing corn rolling every day and you're starting to get a little discouraged, just take a break from it. Go visit another part of the hobby, and then come back to it after a little while, and it'll be as like a fresh new start. And then that's good for every facet of it. So it's all recyclable, you know. Um, it works for me. It does. I go through quite a bit of penny, and it seems to work for me. Yeah, heck yeah, oldies. Oldies is real knowledgeable. He wouldn't tell you that, but he is. Yeah, I got an entire roll of wheats, customer wrap from the bank. Seeing the entire roll, that is bitching. I've gotten rolls where, and it was around Christmas time. They always say Christmas time is the best because money's tight, particularly where I live. We're on the outskirts of, like, not Beverly Hills, but it's. I live in a neighborhood where the parents are breaking open the piggy banks. They're taking the change back that they kept from lunch all year long in their sock drawer. That's maybe somebody I know used to do that. And it's quite a bit. It turns out it turns into real greenbacks pretty quick. So the coins, man, I'm always up there at the store. I'm at the store every night, 10 minutes before they close. Swap. They got a big canvas bag with all the denominations rolled. And they swap me roll for roll pennies for roll pennies. So I X the ends of the paper on mine to make sure I don't get mine back, because pretty soon that whole canvas bag will be nothing but X's. Um, yeah, and I can contest to the holidays being better. It's true, very true. So with that said, yeah, maybe customer roll. You always keep your eye open during the holidays. The rest of the time, probably coin flip. No pun intended. 4s. These are very expensive. If you get double ear on them, that's one of the top 10 most wanted. Negative. No cob, dude. No cob yet. What's up, Manuel? What kind of spider was that? Seeing and miss the spiders are not that one. Oh, I hate spiders, man. It's almost the time of year where they disappear for a few months. Oh, the spiders. I had it with insects. I hate bugs, man. I hate mosquitoes probably more than freaking, or I don't know, like different parts of the country. You might be like overwhelmed with spiders like mosquitoes. I couldn't say, but I hate mosquitoes. I just hate little flying things. Bug me. Bug me. I've never been skunked on a box of pennies. Find wheats. Yeah, but finding wheats isn't always. If it's a non-factor wheat, not premium year, then it's got to be a good. It's got to be a minimum grade for it to be 3 cents. There's such a thing as wheats to get thrown in that box and go back to the bank. Some people say it's sacrilegious. I used to agree, except that when you start doing it more and more, you start shelving pennies that are worth a penny. It's redundant. So, hey, Lemon, after this stream, I got a penny I know you're going to like. Hey, Mike Badger, what's going on, man? I got 50 wheat pennies from 1950 and 40. I don't need them. Yeah, 40s and 50s are common because it's the last 2 decades of the wheats, and they've made them in high numbers. But there's some high dollar stuff to be found in both of those. The strongest repunch mint marks known to exist are in the 50s. Hey, Sarah Sanders, how are you? And no, you know what? Oh, let me see if I can do it right now. I went and tried to find it, and I couldn't. I was having a hard time. Oh, chat's moving too quick. I can't do that from here. I will as soon as I can. But no, I haven't yet. I do catching up on all that stuff, like the watching of videos and making sure I go visit everybody's stuff as much as you can, And I haven't made it to it. I was offered a 1835 and 36 half for 60. Both have been cleaned. What half? What are those, cap busts? 1830s? Yeah, even some cap busts, it depends on the grade, really. If it's lower grade and they're cleaning, I've learned it to be, it takes a full grade away. And a full grade might not sound like a lot, except in some instances, a full grade is everything. Like there's a lot of points where it's just the one grade where they really jump in value and they separate themselves from, it's common to find. So yeah, cleaning's not always a bad thing. And some coin, it was common. Let me see that 8 real from Lima. Yeah, I still got it. It's still for sale. Oh, you haven't, you know what? You haven't been over here or anything. I could show it real quick. Are they shiny? Shiny doesn't always mean cleaned either. But if they cleaned it, they can't hide it. Because you have hairlines. When you find hairlines, that's almost always a sign that it's been cleaned. And then like dirt is hard to get out of all the low points around the devices and around the letters. So when you see a lot of the darkness around the letters, and all the deep parts on the device, but it's lighter everywhere else, then that is a sign that it's been cleaned. Hold on a second, I'm losing my chat. Yeah, I agree with Rivendell. I think XF is a cutoff where I would not entertain them at all. I would give them a different offer. Maybe try to pick them up. I try to pick them all up, care if they're clean or not, holes or not. So this is an 1808. It's beautiful though. No, it's not fake. Come on, man. Focus. Give me a second. I'm gonna put something solid on it or in front real quick. Oh, there we go. Is it focusing yet? There we go. I got it upside down. Hey, is there a variety in this year, Rivendell? Because there looks to be, and it could be just like post-mint damage on the last 8 and the date. You know what? I haven't spent a whole lot of time looking at it. It was just pick it up because they had it. Oh, I think the 8. That's the way the 8s look on this. They almost look like they have slidden because there's like a trail, like on pennies that you get when you get the trails on them. Emmanuel wants to know how much. Well, it's only a day away from making it to auction, where they would stand to make the most. So in public, bringing it out, that's on me. So whatever I tell you, I got to hold it up for everybody. Not that everybody doesn't get the same price, just everybody doesn't get the same price. There is an 8/7. See, so this would be one that I don't have the time, but whoever ends up with it, check it please for that. Let me know. That'd be nice to know. I don't know. I think $50 would be all right. It's one of the nicer ones for the colorless in the Real that I've had. I'm kind of new to Reals, so but I'm hooked. I'm freaking hooked. And I've had some cool ones. Now, when you hold this out and I'm looking at it, let's say a foot away from my face, naked eye, and I'm moving them around like cartwheel, it's got new toning because it's been cleaned, obviously, but it's got new toning, and it's appealing. It's kind of a goldenish, like on the orange side, and I want to say with a little hint of blue, but it's subtle. Like I didn't see it on the screen when I showed it to you guys, but at this distance, naked eye, it's pretty apparent. And then the reverse is darker than the obverse, of course, because of all the device on it. But the color that's down there, it's the same as the front, and it's got a little color to it. So that's cool. Let me catch up with chat real quick. Sayer, we got This is Lima. It's Lima, Peru. I know that. And JP. It's got JP after the 8 real. So it's ME 8 real JP. Yeah, but it could be. They're old. It's old enough. It's that age is old enough to, like a lot of seated dimes like that. You could tell the cleaning even on like some heavily toned ones. I had the old timer when I worked at the shop show me, and he said that a lot of them they were cleaned a long time ago, and that they've already had the time in a Dansko or an old Whitman or whatever it be to retone and repatina, and it's kind of hard sometimes, but there's things to look for. So yeah, I think being early 1800, I think there's a chance for it to be cleaned and still start to catch a little bit of color. If not, like you get retoned. But then again, I mean, what's the window of time? I don't know if it's an exact science. I just bought a 4 real for 40 today from Joel. Joel? Do I know Joel? Oh, Joel. A 4 real. Sweet, dude. Yeah, but saying you bought a 4 real for 40 doesn't say like you could have scored, you could have paid what it was worth, or you could have got took. It's hard to say, not knowing the grade or what year. There's a lot to coin, man. I'll take the 8 if I can nail the money. All right, well, shit. $18.10 for. All right. If nobody else wants to entertain it, I'm gonna give it a minute, 60 seconds, just like I do when we do after the auction, and then it's sold to Daryl. Got my coins. Got my Manic sticker too. The Manic sticker. I sent you a Manic sticker on accident, Hoagie. He said Manic sticker. Magic. Oh, okay. I'm just going back to the chat really quick, guys. Hey, Mari, what's going on, man? Making sure to say hi to anybody that snuck in here. Hey, the giant. And I thought I saw it. Maybe I did. Another name. Oh, Big Flip. What's going on, Big Flip? I did see you. You guys are talking scores. Right on. Hey, Trey. What up, kiddo? Me? Can't see what you auctioning. Well, it's just to buy it now, but to be fair, everybody in the room, it's an 1808. It's an 8 real, minted in Lima, Peru. And JP is the initials for the assayer, because these 8 reals will have all kinds of initials, even for the same year. And the initials are the actual man, the actual person who assayed the coin, So they had a lot of assayers. And so when you're looking up what the coins are worth, and that's the information that you're going to need to know as far as the reals. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Hey, Blockhead, what's going on? I found 298 white AMs and 1 box of Kenny's. Nice. Did you really? Good job, kid. That's 2 in 1 boxes, bitching. Very nice, dude. Hey, say it 69. There's my guy. What's going on, brother? My bad, man, yo. It's tag all the time, dude. So the weekend, having a car on the weekend is even worse than trying to get during the week. I'm just catching up. I've found 10 so far. Have you really? What state are you in, Trey? If you don't mind me asking. If you do, don't. It's fine. Just make up one. Look, one close to where your state is. Georgia. Okay, you're very close to Bun, and Bun found as many. So that do you guys see what I was talking? The ones that are in here the whole time. The 98 is they're being found in multitude in a region in the United States, which means that I mean, but times the amount of die pairs that they know made that error before they caught it, so they know how many die sets, they know how many coins on average one set of die makes. Okay, like around 1 million, and so that tells you, what percentage out of pennies made that year, they're 98. They will have them. You can if you can take that X, with Y, which is region. I mean, damn, you start. It's amazing how the stuff that they can do. It really is. I found a 26 Wheatie. Nice. And see, I'm on the West Coast. So I don't know what it means, but I don't have, when I do find wheats, I find a huge range. Early wheats aren't unheard of. They're getting fewer and farther between. Yeah, for sure, Manuel. I know where they're at. I just didn't get the owner to have enough time to mess with me, because really it takes time to sit down and entertain and have to ask him to dig in the safes for stuff that he doesn't come out very often. Then it's like on the days that are slower, that stuff is easy, but some days you don't even ask because of the foot traffic. There's just too many people coming and going. So it's like to window shop, it really isn't in good taste or fashion when he's making like right there money. So it just wasn't possible. But it's there. They're there, I'm going tomorrow, get a few boxes, about 30 miles north of Georgia. Then you might get some 98s. Make sure you're checking them 98s close, Mike Badger. Full roll of a 98 wide. I would sell for 500, but I have 10. You got 30 to go, or 40 to go, I mean. I found 19, 17, 12. Very nice. Yeah. You got it, Daryl. That's you, baby. I'm going to put it behind me. Matter of fact, hey, you've bought from me a lot. I've known you for a long time on here, so because it's the weekend and your stuff everybody's stuff that I have left right here, Riser and a few other people, your stuff goes out Monday. So I could put this in that package, Daryl. So it'll already be on its way in a day, which would be the same time you're sending payment. But I'm trusting you. I gotta trust you because there's no record of it. You know what I'm saying? No PayPal, no nothing. Just the people in this room that are witnesses. You're all. I can subpoena you. You will have to come. I'll just go. Yeah, right. No, I'm just letting you know because it's a better. You save. You don't have to pay an extra shipping or nothing. So just send flat dough. Tips are fine. Tips are fine. Just not written down little piece of papers that say wear your seatbelt. That's kind of tips I give. You got it, brother. This stupid chat, man. Should I get a roll of silver quarters or 7 1-ounce rounds? You can get rounds anytime, Trey. With that said, you can get really a roll of silver quarters anytime too. But the what the quarters will do for you in the meantime is that if they're about the same money, they'll continue to stay the same. They'll always be the same. It won't matter, except that it'll give you something to search through for varieties. And I can tell you right now, I made a lot of money searching quarters on the 64 Denver's, really. But there's a lot of stuff to find. Type C quarters in good condition they go for a lot of money. They really do. I found like 7 or 8, and a few Type Bs. So yeah, I get the roll quarters every time. I found an 1888 silver 6-pence in a roll today. Did you really, Silver Man? It's not the best. Yeah, still, that's just one of those like awesome things. Like, God, that's cool. Oldest, yeah, that shit, that's nice, dude. I've never had an Indian head penny out of a roll. I go through quite a bit. But that's like, hey, kudos, dude. Right on. Yeah, silver's cheap. And to say it's cheap is just referencing that it was worth a little more a couple months ago. Silver is what it is. That's all. But I think, in just my opinion, it stands to go up. I don't think it's going to go much farther down, and a lot of that has to do with the just getting privy to all the holdings and where they're at. All that speculating stuff. You got a lot more good info to speculate on. So yeah, if I didn't hold silver at all, I would suggest maybe purchasing some silver. I don't think you'll go. It'll hurt you bad or anything, even if it was to just stay or go down a little bit more. Yeah, I would say buy, but I'd say buy responsibly. Don't hawk everything and go buy nothing but silver, because this scenario has happened before. Everybody that bought it at $30 and it's still made it to 50. Wow, but you gotta remember, people were buying it at 50. Yeah, so just be responsible. Stay within your means. And diversified is really the most responsible and best rounded. In my opinion, you want to have a little bit in everything. I had to make my husband a roast beef sandwich. It was like, oh God, Lenny, stop it! You're killing me, Larry. She makes the most wonderful foods, all like comfort food. By Lemonhead Penny Grounds and Bars. That's Riverdale's a smart fella. Yeah, it's been holding at 14. There goes the glove. It's been holding at 14. It's gonna hold wherever they want to hold. There is such a thing as having enough silver that you can set the price. And that one looks like heat got on it. Not normal looking. It's not really going to show it. You see the spot, but it's colorful, naked eye. And all it is like it got hit with a torch or something. It's from heat. And it just like heat would do. So it's like early penny collector me would have had that sucker already 2x2'd and labeling it with a question mark and a whole box of them. God, I still have a few boxes of stuff I have to unflip. Out of the staples, like out of the, well, they don't take staples out, I'll just bust this cellophane. But yeah. And I laugh my ass off every time I have to do it. But it's part of the growing in this hobby, I think. When do you want the payments for the bars? I reserved number 7, I think. I got all the order written down, so whatever you told me, the day I bill for them will be when they're in the package to mail. I don't want anybody to have to, because spot could change, so they're going to be I'm not marking them up that much anyways. The early ones, maybe a little premium, but yeah, they're cheap. It's just more so I had joked about it once, and I got a good feedback, and it surprised me. So I started messing with it, and I've been melting for like a year off and on. So I finally got a lot of the parts that you really have to have down. I got them down. So it was equipment upgrade really. So I've just been waiting for all that to be to where I could do a lot of bars because not having the right equipment isn't going to sustain having to do a lot. I want to be able to put out a good, as good as I can, but consistently. Lemonhead, great stream. We'll watch the rest on the morning. Yeah, we're only here for a little bit. Ken PB will be on pretty soon, and I'm a frequenter of his. Thank you, Sarah, for coming in, and I'll get over to that video. And thank you, really. Nice people, man. Like her. She's my 500th subscriber. Isn't that cool? Hey, Brian Hooper, what's going on, man? When I first started, I 2x2'd every weedy. That's it. Don't feel bad, kiddo. Don't feel bad. Nothing wrong with that. It's part of the learning. Then you still get your penny. It's not like the keeping them for a while made them less of whatever they were. They were still money. That's like it's always you get to fall back on that. It's the good side of this, especially at this starting out. I've seen people dive into collecting, not knowing nothing, and started buying like high dollar stuff. A lot of people, and I've seen a lot of people eat it too, or find out that they just basically, their stuff is worth what they paid for it, and it's probably going to stay like that. Not all coin appreciates. If you're buying something that's 1800 and it's $10, it's probably not going to be in another 200 years worth 20. But it depends on what you're getting into it for. You start and you like it, or trying. A lot of people, or of a certain age. I started in it because I was trying to put something away for the kids, and I hear that quite a bit for people, 40 plus. I hear it quite a bit, and I quickly came to the realization that my kids don't give two what's about coin, even after trying to get them into it. So I thought, well, screw them. They're spoiled anyways. I don't have no needs. But I was already hooked through the looking for stuff. I had learned a little bit, and the whole time I kind of like the, what I just bought or pennies, and it got there quick. So that was cool because I'm very appreciative that I found this hobby. I absolutely adore it, and it's been nothing but good to me. Really good to me. So it's like shit. I ain't fighting against the grain. I was looking at some New Jersey coppers today. Sweet. So you will send me an invoice when 7 is poured. Yes, sir. Oh God, you're 7, huh? Because I know somebody took the first. I'm keeping the first for Lemonhead Penny, brand company. They took the first 5. I bought 6 ounces a shot, or 7 ounces, which a little bit for just in case. So I was gonna say you'll get yours, maybe this coming up week. I'll have to purchase some more shot because I didn't order this shot. I was able to get this local, which was a lovely thing. Where I got it, he has a little bit more, so I maybe can get into the first 10. It depends on how Tuesday goes, to be honest. So I don't want to make too many promises because I did tell everybody it'll be a little bit before I get rolling. Just found another 98 white am. Shut up. Right now, as we're talking, really? What kind of grade are these in? Me too. Then you meet great people. Yeah, that the yes, he did. You lucky sucker. Good for you, Trey. Depends grade. It doesn't matter, man. It's still 98. That's awesome. See, Trey's younger, and look how enthusiastic, man. That's cool. There's a lot of things all these kids could be doing. You know, shit. When I was a kid, I don't think I ever had. Well, I didn't. I went straight from birth to like man. But yeah, God, I wish I would have had something like this to keep me busy, keep me out of trouble, because it would have. It's funny. When I was younger, we did save change, and we'd sit there in the floor, my grandmother, and we would roll it. But it was just that was it. That was the extent of it. We had not to save. It was to put in a shoebox under her bed because when the shoebox got full, we took it to the bank and deposited it. It was a saving thing. Um, Man, well, we went through a lot. I think because me and my brother both, and then that was my grandparents opened an account for savings. Had the book. You had to fill out the plus and minuses. It was always plus only though, because we didn't have control of it until it was like a graduation gift. You got this money, which turned into you got it at 16. So when you got your license, all the grandkids, my grandparents did for everybody. It was usually what everybody used to buy their first car. Hey, Sherry Cook, how are you? Only crap. Oh my god. Oh my god. we all probably put it on Oli instead of. Hey, what's up, Blues? I love going with my dad to poker night when I was 6. Oh, dude, love poker. I just absolutely adore cards. Period. But poker, I love. Was a pretty good poker fan. I mean, poker player, and I'm a fan. Just popping in. Way to go, Trey. Some people have all the luck, 15 boxes, and still looking for the wide and close. Yeah, it's just one of those things. But I'm telling you, man, I think I got that one figured out. It's that region of the country because that's the second person. What are the odds on that in a tight community that they live in the same region and they both have found multiple now and of late? You know what I mean? Like something. It has to mean something. I'm thinking of buying my first bank box this week. There you go, $25, pretty cheap. When you're done, minus what you keep, you still have $20 plus. It's like it's just it's your time, whatever your time is worth to you. Me, I got nothing but time, so I started filling it with coin, and and now it takes up all my time. That got me started collecting. Right on. Yeah, they give you change. How cool, man! And good. It's nice to have a good association with things like that. The memories will always be a good memory. You're fond of it, obviously. Like that just sets you off in the right light and the right tone, like to have the same experience. Believe it or not, with just being the collecting. So yeah, that's cool. I got a switch glove. We got about 10 more minutes because I gotta leave myself enough time to run in and use powder my nose. So I'm just gonna jam through this one real quick with one bare hand. I only grab the copper ones with the bare hand. And see if we can't find something good. And we need to look at that. Negatives. 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 Then if you look at that. Almost. You gotta check you. Negative. 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 stuck again. Copy. What's that underneath? Alright, we're just gonna check him while he's here. It could be a variety, but it's not. It's a checker. How's that looking? Copper. I have to look at him closer. An 18 is just jacked up already. And this one, I can check real quick. It's the right reverse, so that's not it. I found wires, small banks. Nice. Hi, Brian. Hope I apologize for saying bye to my oldest son. Videos on there. Email me. Tennessee. Alright, we're just checking them on chat. You guys are talking amongst yourselves and doing like normal. Nobody's whining, going lemon head, lemon head, lemon head, lemon head. I love that. Almost. That's a dead dog ain't gonna hunt. 60, oh, nice 69, maybe? Can't tell if it's, you have to check it. There's a 72 that's really jacked, so I'm not even gonna bother. Even if it was a big double die, it had like scrapes into it where I could see fresh copper. It could be the big dog and it ain't getting nothing. Nobody's buying it. Ooh, nice 73. I'm just sitting there staring at me like, hey, big dummy, you miss me? Take me, what you gonna do? Pick me up. We gotta check the 98. And of course, all the California 98s. Dog. 99. Close for no cigar. That's a nice color right there. Maybe. There's also, I don't know how people, hey, Lazy Cajun Digger, how are you, man? There's pennies that they got stuck in corners, crevices, whatever it be, and were thrown in or mixed in with on accident with washes and rinses that were further coined. So you get these ones that they're off color. I'm sure everybody's seen them or somewhat or didn't know what they had. There's a few things. It could be on the wrong planter. There was brass planters, but there was also brass rinses that make the copper look brassy color, like a bright yellow, not the red copperish color, and they stick out. You put them side by side, and until you get the eye for it, you just gotta, you gotta keep your eye open. Once you are conscious of it, you'll start to see them. Like if you never heard that before, you mark my word, you'll start to notice them. You'll probably start seeing stuff that your mind wants you to think it's it. But yeah, yellow, and they get a premium if they're in condition. Condition is everything. Well, they're on the 83, it's possible, except you're looking for grain, because there's ones floating out there that the patina, what the rinse or whatever it was that did it to it, it made it. You're looking for like a really greenish 83, and they get a premium. There's on a really good specimen, high grade. It's money not to be bad eye at. There's all kinds of stuff. The basic errors and varieties that we get or out of the red book or etc. it just scratches the surface. It's not a fair representation of what's possible. What's possible is that there's variety and error in every year coin, every denomination, every coin ever made, and you learn how they're done. How go learn the errors, how they happen, and it might seem like you're doing it backwards. It's not. You're trying. It's like opposed to cramming. You're really learning it. Once you start to get good at, the difference between a striking error and a planchette error, then it starts to click. It starts to come together quicker. It, it worked for me. Maybe not for everybody, but there's these wonderful books that'll help you get there. It's not free. It's not. It's too big to be learned by explanation. I couldn't teach it all to you. I don't know it all, but I've gotten to a place where I can spot that there's something wrong with the coin. I can tell you what type of error roughly be correct. Maybe 80% of the time. But then that's just the first part. Then the research is on. Okay, is it known? Is it not known? If it is, I hope there's not 265 of those repunchment marks. I hope there's only 12 because it can get crazy. So I went through that roll very quick. Got everything thrown away where it goes in tome. I have these. Out of these, I would just loop because I didn't loop. And I'm going to go for the dark ones first. And at closer glance, that one gets thrown in the coffer pile. Closer glance. And what my style is, I do a circle first. I go rim around because it gets all the device in the rim. Then I come back up once I hit 6 o'clock through the center of the device, which is his bust. And by then, I've already looked at the coin pretty in detail. And it takes like a second or two. And I've already made my decision, because any damage is going to jump out. Any double die would have jumped out, if it's strong. And this coin, it's kind of borderline, but the year I have a lot, so I'm not keeping it. All right, negative. And I try to do it the same way every time. And the more you get practiced that one way, even the littlest details like that's the way you look at the coin. You can make stuff happen, and you get faster and faster and faster, and it's your eye and your brain. And you put on cruise control. You might not even remember the last 20 coins you went through, but you'll have 2 that you saved, and you won't remember what. It's crazy. It'll turn you into a machine, a penny searching machine. So I got Doubling and Liberty on this. Kind of hard to see because it's red brown. Well, it's more on the brown side. So this would be, it's being kept. It's off to the side with the other keeper, and it'll need a microscope for me to definitely say yes or no. Here's that 73 I was saying that jumped out at me. Beautiful coin, late stage die, all kinds of die scratch, like the whole plancher. But post-mint damage that's pretty big as far as gouges and stuff. That's too bad. And nothing to speak of that would trump the post-mint damage, like a double die or a repunchment mark. So it's trash. It's hard throwing red coins away from the early 70s. I wouldn't have done that early on. That sucker would be in a roll, marked keeper with an exclamation mark, and I'd be full. So, but don't be hard on yourself, you guys. I need more books. They're more my thing. Yeah, it's part of this. I mean, the internet, it's taken away a big percentage of that, but it's still part of this. Is this or this is good info? And then okay, thank you, Sherry. Thank you. I tell you right now, the typical is the Strike It Rich, the Pocket Change with Pocket Change. That's a great book if you like the air and variety, because it has pictures of what, and it picks a bunch of years and multiples of some years. It doesn't have everything, but there's more volumes than one. So that's a good one. It's fourth edition, I think they're on. But there's one called Mint Errors. It's a great book, and it's the one that PV suggested it to me, and I hadn't heard of it before. And it's a price guide to Mint Errors. So not only will it give you a roundabout price, because price is kind of hard to find and you take it with a grain of salt, just like the pricing in the Red Book. But it's for everything else that's in this. It goes through the minting process from start to scratch. There's a lot of reading in it that it doesn't have anything to do with value, and that's the stuff that helps you go, oh, I could see how that's done, or like it'll start to cinch things for you, or it did for me. It's really a great book. So that's the official price guide to Mint Errors, and it's by Alan Herbert. Like if you want to search it, I bought my copy used off of online. So, because it's paperback. If it was hardback, I'd buy a new one, but not paperback. If I could save a few bucks on paperback, I will. Kind of redundant. I save all 83 quarters. I do too. I got a nice stack over here. I have almost 7 rolls. When I get to 10, I'm gonna put them up on eBay. Yeah, man. I don't know if that's like ran its course or not, but I remember hearing all the craziness about how much those rolls, even in like circulated grade, and they were getting a good premium. So yeah. All right. Let me check up on chat really quick. All right. Let's see 82 and 3. I want to say I do too. I haven't been through, like in my pocket change that I bring home, I catch them occasionally, but I did quarter kind of hard early on, and then things change. I just changed, started doing it full force, and I got away from it for a little bit, but I still remember to keep them. Kyle Hayes, there he is. What's up, brother? What are you doing, man? There's another hardcore copper searcher right there. Kyle Hayes. He puts his hours in. I gotta look at that from my scope. It's interesting. Interesting. 95. We're doubling on the date. Liberty, and in God we trust. I forget what type Devil Died in 95 is, but it's the strongest of that type. But reasonable because the amount was thought to be let out. So not super crazy, under $100 in high grade. And you can find them. I haven't found one yet myself, but I know a lot of people that have, so that's good. It means it's possible. So I'm lucky to get through 2 rolls when I'm streaming. That's not bad. And an hour 39, so I could tell you this. If I wasn't streaming, I was just sitting here, watching your guys stream or lurking because if I get involved in the chat, then forget about it. But I mean, just being able to just do coin rolling, I would have been through these rolls and had them separated in the time. So it's not unheard of to do and do it pretty well, pretty thorough. To do a whole box from a bank, in a day, that's like stopping to take a snack, eat, use the restroom, smack a kid, yell at the dog, whatever. It's like you could do a box thoroughly and have most of the work done and just have it down to a pile that it might take an hour with the USB, and you have whatever you stand to find and know and have it. The research might plus or minus more, but yeah, it just depends what you're in it for. If you're looking for one coin, you're hauling ass through 'em, then you're doing that's what it takes. If you're just trying to find one, um, I'm doing a lot of things. I'm doing building BU rolls, so I keep a lot of coins other guys wouldn't. Modern, nice, high grade, because it's not really a big profit margin or premium. So a lot of people don't entertain anything past 82, let alone modern, like 2015 or 16. So it just depends on what you're in it for. He said, "Smack your kid." Yeah, only if they need it. My kids are grown. There's such a thing as an age where that isn't. It's not good. It's bad. It does reverse effects. They've been way too big to put hands on. I think I'll only spank my kids when they were spankable, probably a couple times a piece. Just the tone of voice would get what dad needed them to do. That was enough. And then you got to sit them down about an hour later and tell them why when they're calm. The worst thing you do is spank your kids and chastise them and then leave them to themselves to figure out why. That's poison. That's the wrong way. How you doing, John Wolf? So I think we only got a few minutes left for TV. I gotta go in the house, so I might be bidding adieu. Adieu, McAdoo. But I'm gonna smoke a cigarette before we go. So I don't encourage smoking, especially if you're not 20 years old yet and you're under 5 foot, because it might stunt your growth. My mother smoked all through her pregnancy with me, she said, and I was only 6'5". So imagine what a freak I would have been if she hadn't smoked. My God, it's been horrible. I can barely find shoes now. Leon Peter, what's going on, man? How are you? I just had to do something. I had a little window of time there, so I figured I'd go on. And I didn't think I'd get as many people popping in here. So thanks, you guys. I appreciate that. I really do. A lot of people. If it wasn't Peavy, I think I'd stay on. Yeah, I gave it a little fake trim, the 5-minute little dry, try to square it up a little bit, make it look respectable. Yeah, but as far as beard, I've never been able to get through the itch, Hoagie. Like the 2 week. I don't grow a beard very strong, anyways. But like, man, for years it's just spotty. It's still kind of spotty, but I'm not letting it go to a beard because it's all white. Look like freaking Santa Claus. I'm 43 years old. I can't. This stuff got to go. I need some Just for Men. What's that stuff you just Emmett Smith and them on the commercial? Just get in the shower and put it on. It turns all black. I mean, feel free to donate about a gallon of Just for Men. I can bathe in it, do my hair, eyebrows, hook it up. Yeah, handsome. I'm handsome. I don't care what my mama said I was handsome. I'm gonna take that. That's how handsome I am. I can't stand to look at myself. You look great. You're a gracious liar. God love you. Honestly, these things, cigarettes, I've been smoking too young. 16, man, 43, 20 plus years already. And then I go and I start reading about it, and smoking it, well, when I hurt my back, actually, it depletes collagen. There's 8 types of collagen. Your skin is made out of one of them. So, like, the smoking has been hard on my mug. But it is what it is. So I got a bit of you guys. I don't remember who goes on after PV. Is it a full roster all the way through? If so, I'll be on later tonight for all you late people. We'll do a late night coin talk hangout. Fort Dub, YT, how you doing? Welcome. You have to go back. If you can, subscribe and hit the bell because you're in the right place if you like coin collecting. And feel free to rewatch, and if not, by clicking the bell, you'll catch when we're on again. And hopefully, I see all of you Tuesday at 5:30 for the live. We do live auction every Tuesday, you guys. And that's about it. Cowboys on, yeah. It's preseason, right? Are we preseason still? My first coin video yesterday, and yeah, you are new. Hopefully you liked it. It's a great hobby, and yeah, and more so, like you could pick a lot of different communities on here. I dare you to find a better one. So yeah, it's really a great hobby. Real games. Who are they playing, Brian? Oh, not the Giants. Don't say the Giants. It's a W. That's an easy W. A lot of people through the years, man, diehard Giant fans. That's like big time rivalry. Oh, there's Mr. Peeve. Mr. Peavy. I've been in hobby for a while. Had a big coin channel, but we gave up on that. This is my new one. Right on. Well, all the people in here are I could vouch for probably 99% of them. I'd say everybody. I'd fair to say everybody. This is a good batch right here to subscribe to. Most of the people in here put content up, so yeah, a lot of good people in here. Hey, you're welcome, Hoagie. Thank you, man. We'll see you over. Yeah, we'll see you over at Ken Peavy's. Matter of fact, Fort Dub. Type in Ken Peavy or The Big Show -coin. You'll find where we're all headed, and it's probably like it's one of the places that if you're in this community, you need to subscribe to. It's everybody frequents it, and it's wonderful. You want to see something cool? Come on over to this. All right, you guys. Thanks a lot, man. We'll see you guys.